This is Richard with PROPO D-Force Aviation, and this is the fourth in a series of videos designed to help the viewer program their elite or matrix transmitter for electric flybarless helicopter use. As always, safety is a primary concern. The programming of the radio is to be done with only the transmitter on, the model should not be powered up, and the motor should not be connected. In this video, we're going to set the dual rate, expo, and gyro setting for throttle hold to match those of position 1 or stunt 1. With JR, throttle hold is considered to be a flight mode. By default, when activating throttle hold, the flight mode settings for gyro, dual rates, and expo will be those of normal mode, position 0. As noted in a previous video, normal mode, as we're going to set it up in these videos, will be for precise takeoffs and landings only, with low rates, quite a bit of expo, and high gyro gains. These settings will probably not be satisfactory in terms of control authority for auto rotation, especially aerobatic auto rotations. So what we're going to do is use the dual rate, expo, and gyro settings that we use in stunt 1 for our hold mode. Okay, from the home screen, we're going to touch the menu button. We're now on the first page of the function menu. The lower left of the function menu is the dual rate and expo button. We're going to touch that. Once again, we have the small window in the center that says confirm servo hold. We want to touch yes. At the top is the word aileron, which tells us that the dual rate and expo functions here will deal with the aileron axis. And to the right is the image of a switch. We're going to touch that. Okay, now in a new screen, we're going to go down to the fourth row, which is going to be the fourth flight mode. And there's another image of a switch. We're going to touch that. We're now in the switch select menu. The upper left is the word flight mode. To the left of that is a small box. We're going to click on that. And now we have a new window that says flight mode in it, which shows 4 flight modes: normal, stunt 1, stunt 2, and hold. We're going to click on hold. We'll hit the red X in the upper right hand corner to back out. Now back in the switch select screen, we see the now familiar image of the transmitter showing all the switches. We're going to scroll up to the right, and we're going to click on the image of switch L, which, if you remember from the previous videos, we selected as our throttle hold switch. Now in the enlarged view of the switches on the upper right side of the transmitter, we're going to touch again the image of switch L. We're now in a smaller window with the letter L in the upper left corner. We're going to click on the position 1 button on the lower right. Going to touch the red X in the upper right hand corner to back out. Once again, in the enlarged view of the switches on the upper right part of the transmitter, we see that switch L is now highlighted in red. We see this again in the switch select menu. We're going to hit the back button on the face of the transmitter to back out from here. Now back in the previous menu, we go down to the fourth row. Again, this is our fourth flight mode. We scroll to the right and we see a box with position 0 in it. This tells us that when flight mode 4, which is hold, is invoked, it will have the characteristics of position 0 or normal mode. We want the characteristics for stunt 1. So we're going to touch this box. Now we have a window appearing in the center of the screen. Position 0 is highlighted. We're going to scroll over to the right to position 1 and touch the box. Now if we look down where it said position 0 before, it says position 1. We're going to press the back button and return to the dual rate and expo screen for aileron. We're going to look at the position indicator. We're in normal mode now, which would be position 0. We're going to flip the throttle hold switch and watch the position indicator change. Okay, it's changed to position 1. We'll turn the throttle hold switch off.
Normal.
Back to position 0. If we flip it to stunt 1, we're going to flip the hold switch. It shouldn't change. The position indicator switch has stayed in the same place. Throttle hold off.
Stunt 1.
Going to flip into stunt 2.
Stunt 2.
Okay, we're in stunt 2. The position indicator says position 2. We're going to flip the throttle hold switch on. Okay, anytime we flip throttle hold on, we're going to have the dual rate and expo characteristics for our stunt 1 mode. Okay, now we have to repeat the process for the elevator. So we're going to touch the button that says aileron here. We have a small window in the center of the screen. We're going to touch elevator. Now the dual rate and expo screen is for elevator, whereas before it was aileron. I'm going to touch the image of the switch. We're going to go down to the 4th row and touch the image of the switch here. Again, this is our 4th flight mode. We'll touch that. We're going to go to the upper left where it says flight mode, and we're going to click. Okay, now in the smaller window that says flight mode in the upper left, we're going to scroll down and hit hold. Hold has now got a check by it. We're going to hit the red X to back out. Now we're back in the switch select screen. We're going to touch the image of switch L in the upper right hand corner as we did before. We're going to touch it again as we did before. Now in the small window with the L at the upper left, we're going to touch the position button. Red X to back out. Back button to back out. Now again, for the 4th flight mode position, it says position 0 in this box. We want to click on that. Now again, in this window that says position in the upper left, position 0 is highlighted, which is the default. We're going to click on position 1. And now if we go down to the 4th row for our 4th flight mode, we see position 1 where it said position 0 before. We hit the back button to go out. Now we're going to repeat the process for the rudder axis. Okay. Earlier when we did this for the aileron, we ran a test to make sure that when we invoke throttle hold, the dual rates and elevator function for aileron would have the characteristics for stunt 1 as opposed to normal mode. So we're going to run that check again quickly for elevator and rudder. So we're going to click here, go back to elevator. I always like to do things in the same order roughly. So, okay, we're in normal mode. We're going to flip the throttle hold switch. We should see the position indicator move to position 1. Okay, throttle hold off.
Normal.
We're going to go into stunt 1, which is our position 1 mode on the indicator.
Stunt 1.
When we flip the throttle hold switch, we should see no change. It should stay at position 1.
Hold. Stunt 1.
Okay, throttle hold is off. Going to go into stunt 2, which is position 2 on the position indicator.
Stunt 2.
Once again, we're going to flip throttle hold on,
Hold.
and it says position 1.
Stunt 2. Normal.
Okay, we're going to repeat this again for rudder. Normal mode, hold.
Hold. Normal.
Going to go into stunt 1,
Stunt 1.
hold,
Hold.
hold off,
Stunt 1.
stunt 2,
Stunt 2.
position indicator says 2. I'm going to flip the hold switch.
Hold.
Okay. Okay, so we've now proven that when we're in hold, dual rates for elevator, aileron, and rudder will have the characteristics of our stunt 1 mode. Now we're going to do something very similar for our gyro gains. Okay, now we're going to hit our back button to back out to the function menu. Now we need to go next to the gyro sensitivity menu, so we're going to touch the arrow to the extreme right of the screen here, and we're on page 2 of the function menu. We're going to touch the gyro sense button. Once again, it says confirm servo hold. We're going to hit yes. The position indicator is here. We're going to watch that and we're going to run through the flight mode settings. We're in normal mode now, which is position 0.
Stunt 1. Stunt 2.
So we can see the position indicator change as we have before when different flight modes are invoked. Now, if we flip the throttle hold switch, we'll see the position indicator changed to position 0, which is, again, the characteristics for normal mode.
Hello.
Okay, we want to correct this.
Stunt 2.
To the right of the position indicator box is the image of a switch. Click it. We're now on a screen identical to the one that we saw for Dual Rate and Expo, but this one says Gyro Sense at the upper left. We're going to go down to the 4th row and we're going to click the image of the switch. We're now in the switch select screen. We're going to go up to the upper left and click the box to the left of the words flight mode as we did with the Dual Rate and Expo functions. This is the same window that we saw appear when we were doing Dual Rate and Expo. We're going to touch hold. We're going to hit the red X in the upper right hand corner. We're going to touch our throttle hold switch. We're going to touch the image of the throttle hold switch again. And we're going to touch position 1 again. Red X to back out. Back button to back out. Back button on the face of the transmitter to back out. And as we did for Dual Rate and Expo, we're going to change where it says position 0 here in the 4th row down to position 1. This should all look very familiar. Okay, we're going to hit the back button to back out. And now we're going to run a test very similar to the one we did for Dual Rate and Expo. We're in normal mode and we're going to flip throttle hold on. We should see the position indicator change to position 1.
Hello.
Okay. Hold off.
Normal.
Going to go into stunt 1.
Stunt 1.
We're going to flip throttle hold again. The position indicator should not change again.
Hello.
Okay, did not change. Going to flip throttle hold off.
Stunt 1.
Going to go into stunt 2, which is position 2.
Stunt 2.
Okay, we're going to hit our throttle hold again.
Hello. Stunt 2.
Okay, we're going to go back into normal mode so we don't set off any alarms when we back out to the home screen.
Normal.
Hit the back button twice. And we're back on the home screen. The throttle hold flight mode will now have the gyro settings for the stunt 1 flight mode as opposed to the normal flight mode. In the next video, we're going to talk about throttle and pitch curves. Thank you.